know, a new law goes into effect next week. This will impact a lot of people. We're talking parents, athletes, coaches, trainers, doctors. Oklahoma's concussion law, or Senate Bill 1164, focuses on 4 elements: return to play, return to learn, youth sports, and medical personnel. Joined now to talk about Oklahoma's concussion law, we are joined now by Jeff McKibben with the University of Central Oklahoma. Thank you so much for joining us and braving the fog to come to the KOCO5 studios.
Well, thanks for having me, Abigail.
Crazy
perfect
weather.
Halloween weather.
Perfect Halloween weather.
Yeah.
Talking about the concussion law, just your general thoughts. Would you say this is much needed or a little bit of an overstep? What was your thoughts or your initial reaction?
Well, obviously much needed, because we've been trying to update it since 2010. We initially passed the concussion law, and shortly thereafter we started getting research that showed that we still lacked a little bit in what our 2010 statute indicated that we needed to be doing. So in 2011 and 12, we actively started trying to develop something. In 2014, we pursued additional legislation. Wasn't successful, but this past year we were. So we're pretty excited about adding new components to the law that really helps athletes.
When you say we, who are you referring to?
Well, the Oklahoma Athletic Trainers Association was really instrumental in helping with this, and an organization called Concussion Connection, which is dedicated to athletes that have suffered concussions and helping prevent those.
You know, I started out as a sports reporter and sports anchor, obviously have now moved into news, but it seems like concussions and the concussion conversation has very recently become a hot button issue, has become a hot topic. It really wasn't in years past, in decades past. Why is it just now becoming something that people are focusing on? Is it because we're just now understanding the lifelong effects? I just read an article on NPR that said it could lead to PTSD. I mean, are we just now learning how serious concussions are?
Well, it's been a gradual learning over the last, again, 6 years, but we've started noticing, people having complications later in life due to, and they trace that back to potentially concussions. And so the research began in that area and developed some things that hinted towards, we needed to take another look at what we were doing. And so it's evolved to where we are today because a lot of the NFL exposure and some of the athletes that have obviously suffered traumatic injuries or death even due to potential PTSD or what we now know as CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which the movie Concussion was based on.
Yeah, I was reading if someone has a concussion sustained, if they're playing in high school or junior high, and then they enlist or something along those lines, go to war, they're more likely to develop potentially PTSD. That is what the NPR article was referring to. Found it fascinating. This focuses on 4 main factors: return to play, return to learn, youth sports, and medical personnel. Kind of break down those four main elements and why those are important.
Well, obviously we had in the first law that an athlete that's suspected of a concussion should not and will not return to play that same day until they have been evaluated by a qualified health care provider, somebody that's trained in concussion management and care. The next part of it was one of the things that we left out, the return to learn. And we found that the athletes were starting to be recognized on the field, but not in the classroom. So they're put back in the classroom and suspected to obtain a high-level academic success, and that's not possible when you're cognitively affected. The next part was obviously the stepwise or return to play. And we've kind of been on that schedule, but other people were not aware of it, that when you do go back from a concussion, you don't just, okay, you seem to look normal, so let's put you back in. We put them in a progressive physical activity return to play, stepwise, graduated, however you want to say it, progress. So you start out by doing some physical activity to see if symptoms return. And then of course the last part is healthcare, athletic healthcare, and those healthcare providers. And that's basically athletic training. Athletic training has been around a long time, but it's developed into a qualified healthcare provider that sadly Oklahoma is down at the bottom with providing to our secondary schools. We're like 9% of our schools have access to a qualified healthcare provider like an athletic trainer to look for things like concussion.
I was going to ask you, how do you implement this law? Is there going to have to be a doctor or a concussion specialist at every single game for every single high school and junior high or middle school game? And cheerleading practice, I mean, you can get concussions from cheerleading. You can get them from softball. It's not just football. People always focus on football, but it can be anything. How do you implement this? And are we also just talking about schools? Could this also be club baseball, club wrestling, club football?
That's perfect. It does involve everyone. It's youth sports organizations and in schools.
Okay.
And no, you do not have to have a doctor on every sideline at every practice. What we have implemented into the law also is that game officials and team officials, which involves pretty much everyone that's involved with an activity, and that could include cheerleading, has to know the signs and symptoms of concussions. So we're all responsible for our student athletes now to recognize those symptoms and immediately remove them from that activity until they have been evaluated by a qualified health care provider. So that takes that onus off of making a burden on a school to hire somebody or to seek somebody to be at every event.
We are running out of time, but we received a question from a parent because you are a concussion expert. What if a 10-year-old gets hit, passes out, has a concussion? Should he be taken out, obviously, for the game, or should he stop playing for the entire season? What would be your answer, just kind of looking at this question right here from a viewer?
That's a great question. Immediately taken out of the activity. That's what the law says. Any signs or symptoms of a concussion, you must immediately remove that athlete from any practice or game until rest of the day, but until they've been obviously evaluated by a qualified healthcare provider. That decision about how long they will be out, and that varies from individual to individual. And I would say a 10-year-old is more susceptible to have different effects than an adult, and we need to really pay attention to that because their brains are still developing. And that's a concern of ours, especially at the youth sport level.
Absolutely, and these kids are starting younger and younger, and you want to protect their brains as they're still developing. Jeff McKibben with UCO, we certainly appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
And your expertise. This goes into effect November 1st.
November 1st.
A very important law that's going to change the face of sports right now around Oklahoma. A very important law, so we appreciate you shedding some light on it for us.
And I would encourage everyone to go to the State Department of Health website, and it'll have all the information and answer a lot of the questions maybe others have.
All right, we appreciate it.